Hello everybody. I'm here right now with my friend Sheldon to talk about real estate in the GTA. The market's, well, it's been hot for a while, not just now. It's been hot for a while and everybody's talking about real estate. So we figured we'd take a look at some numbers and share them with you so that you can figure out what's going on and decide if you want to sell or if you want to buy, how to get the best price for your house. So right now, I want to let Sheldon start talking because he's the guru.
I'm going to be covering Brampton specifically, and what we've seen in October is we saw roughly 646 sales across Brampton. As we moved into November, there was an increase, and we saw a total amount of 718 sales. So there's a lot of activity that happened in November versus October. Now, from a total listing standpoint across Brampton, in October again we saw around 1,630, and again in November we saw an increase. And that increase was to 1650. So again, a lot more activity in November than the previous month. So one of the numbers that I'm extremely excited about is the months of inventory. Now, when we look in October, the total months of inventory was 2.5. So what that means is that with the total active sales in November, it would take roughly 2.5 months to sell out all that inventory, essentially. And the good news story here is that when we look in November, that number is actually dropping, right? So it's dropped to 2.3. So we're coming from 2.5 in October to 2.3 in November. And again, that months of inventory is important because based on the active sales numbers for that month, it would basically take us 2.3 months to clear out all that inventory. And when the months of inventory come down, it basically means that there is some consistency in pricing, right? So pricing tends to go upward as opposed to downward. All
right, thank you very much for the insights in Brampton, Sheldon. Now, I want to talk about Toronto because I'm a Toronto boy. I love Toronto, so that's what I want to talk about. And looking at the numbers of sales in Toronto, in October we had 2,873, which went up by about 100 in November to 2,978. Also, active listings between October and November actually went down from 5,700 almost down to 5,400. So we have higher sales and less inventory. That corresponds to the drop of months in inventory from 1.98 down to 1.82. So the market is getting tighter. One thing though that's really driving that is condo sales, because house sales, I know you hear all kinds of numbers like houses are $1 million, etc. But the average price for houses in Toronto in October was $819,000 and has actually gone down to $802,000 in November. Part of that is because of the strength in condo sales, which are priced much lower than detached, semi-detached, whatever else type of house that you have. So that's just something to think about. Even though houses are staying on the market for about the same amount of time, 20, 21 days between October and November, the pricing is seeing a bit of downward pressure when you consider the market as a whole with condos and homes.